Hello and welcome to this week's FBF News Recap, where I take a look back at last week's news and look forward to next week's new releases. Next week we have Beat the Beat Rhythm Paradise, Dead Island Game of the Year Edition, Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm PSP Edition, Theat Rhythm Final Fantasy, To the Moon, and the Tour de France 2012. And now, the news. Capcom have announced the contents of the Collector's Edition for Resident Evil 6. It will include the game, a zombie steel book, an exclusive art book showing concept art from the game, a Resident Evil avatar for 360, or an RE6 dynamic theme for the PlayStation 3, an Ivy University Tall Oaks sweater, the RE6 Forces emblems, high-quality zinc alloy emblems of the three main protagonists in the game, mounted and set in a frame authenticated with signatures from senior producer Hiroyuki Kobayashi, producer Yoshiaki Hayabayashi, and RE6 director Ichiro Sasaki. And all of these amazing contents will be contained in a needle bomb lenticular case. At the moment we don't know how you'll be able to get your hands on this. If you live in France, you need to pre-order the game from Amazon, and if you live in Germany, from GameStop, but at the moment the UK retailer is unknown. Dragon's Dogma has sold 1 million copies since its launch, and that means that Capcom is very happy and is looking to make a sequel. It also makes Dragon's Dogma the 55th game that Capcom has made to hit the 1 million sales mark. If you own the PC or Xbox 360 version of Mass Effect 3, this week you managed to get your hands on the free Extended Ending Cut DLC. If you own a PlayStation 3, you'll have to wait until July the 4th next week. The content is fairly sizable at 1.9 gigabytes, but it adds to the ending of the game, allowing you a couple of alternate endings or extended endings to the amazing game. You just have to go back a little bit and play through from before the final mission. Sony Computer Entertainment this week announced that Kazuo Hirai will be stepping down as the representative director and chairman of the board. He will stay on the company board part-time for the moment and still hold the position of Sony's CEO and president, the position that he assumed on April 1st this year. The departure from Sony Computer Entertainment is notable because that's where Hirai raised through the ranks at Sony and its subsidiaries. It was a big surprise and rather a disappointment when Nintendo announced 3DS XL would not have a second thumbstick. So it was no surprise when earlier this week Nintendo announced that they would be bringing out a Circle Pad Pro for the 3DS XL, entirely separate from the one for the standard model. A couple of other details have been announced about the refresh of the device. Those of you transferring from a 3DS to a 3DS XL will be able to transfer your purchases and any saved data across. And secondly, if you've been playing Kid Icarus, don't worry, the 3DS XL is still completely compatible with the stand. That is a great assistance in playing that game. And finally for this week, Activision has announced that they are closing the doors of Radical Entertainment, the creators of Prototype. The Twitter mill started buzzing last night when an audio designer, Rob Bridgett, announced on his Twitter feed, RIP Radical Entertainment 1991 to 2012. When Kotaku tried to reach out for an official statement from the Vancouver offices of the studio, they were unable to get in touch with anyone working there. Activision released the official statement, which reads as follows. Although we made a substantial investment in the Prototype IP, it did not find a broad commercial audience. Radical is a very talented team of developers. However, we have explored various options for the studio, including a potential sale of the business, and we have made a difficult conclusion through the consultation process that the only remaining option is a significant reduction in staff. As such, some employees will remain working for Radical Entertainment, supporting other existing Activision publishing projects, but the studio will cease development of its own games going forward. Now personally, I'm very sad to hear this. I really loved playing the Prototype games and felt they should have done a lot better than they did. I've also enjoyed playing Radical games for a long time now, starting with Mario is Missing way back in 1992. And looking at the list of games that have come from the studio, I wouldn't be surprised if every gamer out there has played at least one or two of the Radical games over the years. Everyone here at Final Boss Fight is wishing everyone working at Radical the very best in the future. And that's all for this week. I'm going to be at the London Anime Con on Sunday. That's July the 1st. If you are there, come on by and say hello. If you're not, swing by next week where we'll have plenty of video footage from the event. And Dan and Ryan will be at Resd on Saturday the 7th of July. That's next Saturday. And so if you're going down to Brighton for that one, they will see you there. Again, check back the site after the event for plenty of video footage. Bye guys.